two of the most common issues I see with building new construction in Roatan, Honduras. That is one, timelines. Timelines are guidelines, and sometimes they work, sometimes they take 6 to 12 months to actually come to completion, and finances or budget. It is very common for houses to be over budget by 30 to 50%. I know my first build, I knew all of these things and I was doing everything in my power to prevent it, and we still went over by about 40%, which was, well, not super awesome, and we had to cut a lot of things out of the project. We didn't end up doing a carport. We couldn't even put frames around our doors because we budgeted, we knew the budget, the builder knew the budget, nobody stayed on it. So I wanted to show you what I have going on with this build right here, which we are about 30 days out from completion, which they are working 6 days a week now. They were doing 5, now they're doing 6 because it's 30 days. But also we are done, we have purchased everything, so there aren't, other than labor, we do not have any additional expenses we will be incurring, there we go, other than the labor costs for the next 30 days, which that has been fixed the entire time. So let me show you what we're looking at, just so you can get a guide, see how far your house is, or see if you're still incurring additional costs at this point. Maybe it's time to talk to the builder or try to figure out what's going on. But these guys are moving pretty fast. It is a 1,600 square foot house, so it's not, well, ultra large, and it is wood. What you see right behind me, this is actually a carport, and it's going to be done in about 2 weeks. But I wanted to show you what's inside of the house and just some things to be looking for on your kind of final month to 2 months of building in Roatan, Honduras. The 2-car carport, actually it's going to be 4 cars, but 2 are going to be under the carport, which is what you see right there. That's about 2 weeks, so that's really quick. You can also see the yard is a disaster. There's a lot of dirt, there's a lot of gravel, there's a lot of rocks, there's a lot of cinder blocks, there's a lot of concrete mixing going on. A lot of that has to do with the carport. And then also if we go over to the septic, which is, this is the leach field, and so we're putting a lot of different types of gravel and different types of rocks in there right now, so it'll do what it needs to do. And this is our concrete septic, and I do not recall how many gallons it is off the top of my head, but it is a 3-chamber, which I am struggling to kind of show you right there. But those are going to be the 2 access points. That this is and you can see kind of how we have the chambers divided, because we want the sediment on the top to, well, be separated from the stuff on the bottom. And then it kind of creates this clean layer, like you can see right here. One is high, one is low, and that just allows for a nice 3-part ecosystem. So if we keep going along the house, which the septic is basically done, it just rained a lot, so it's just not completely finished. What you see with the house right here, this is going to be a screened-in porch. They've already done all of the decorative panels or pillars, so that is going to be done probably almost the very last day, because it's that really delicate, well, it's not delicate screen, but it would get ripped if they did it right now. So they are doing their final coat of paint. This is the 3rd coat and you can see on this side in a second, you're going to see another side that they have not done that, where they've cleaned the windows, they've finished the trim, they've taken all the insulation, all of the, like the foam insulation, from the bottle, it's off. So you can tell it is getting very close. The paint is even. This is the 3rd coat for the trim as well. The gutters are not complete, to my dismay, because we just had a ton of rain, over 40 inches, I believe, and I really wanted that to fill that 22,000 gallon cistern, but I will have another day of lots of rain. But that was kind of that was the heaviest rain Roatan had in a long time. Anyway, I digress. The gutters are kind of on my, sooner rather than later list. And so I've been, I want those things done, and I wanted them done last week. But as you can see, the farther along we go around the house, you can tell that it doesn't have that 3rd coat. It's not as clean and finished looking, and you still have a little bit of, we still have all the exterior framing up so they can finish. They haven't sealed the other part of the house, the edges. So you can say that they just haven't gone this side. But the good news is this is a different crew than the interior crew. So everybody's kind of, well, they're making their way along and they should be done in the next few days. This is our cistern. It is a 2-chamber cistern, 22,000 gallons. That was being sealed last week, and the reason why we were not collecting rainwater. But now let's go inside. So this is the inside of the house. This is where the porch is. The flooring is completely done. The ceiling is done also, which we did a nice tongue and groove upgrade with the wood, and that we have a very, very light gray stain on this. So it is stained, it is treated. The lighting is not in. You can see all the wires coming down, but we do have windows and doors fully installed, so the door or the house can actually close. Right here, we're gonna have a barn door, and we have not installed those. That'll probably be the very last week. This is gonna be our electrical room where the electrical, our internet, as well as the washer dryer space, which, yes, I do know water and electrical aren't super great together, but the electrical is higher than where the water goes. So just little changes we made to what is most commonly done in Honduras. That is going to be the powder room, and they just put in sinks. Well, the house smelled of glue, which was, well, a good thing we have windows and they were open. The cabinets went in last week. They are finishing up with all of the, well, they're doing sinks right now, which they just put in the nice black kitchen sink, which I'm really, really happy with. We've done, well, we went with very white or black or gray, all of those tones, but we tried to make kind of power. We tried to make, well, we tried to tie everything together with the black windows, the black sink, and then most of the rest of the house white or some type of gray. I love the white mahogany counter, well, not the counters, the cabinets. It's nice, durable, locally sourced, and we just wanted to keep it as natural as possible, yet stay modern. So we just did a light coat of a very light gray stain that is comparable to the gray paint. We just only did one coat of the colored stain, and then we did seal the wood completely. And it just, well, these are my favorite cabinets we've installed on any house. I also like that we opened up the bottom to the stairwell, and we're going to use that as kind of like a little office area, or while we're here for kids, or a desk, or, I mean, it wouldn't be very conducive for an at-home office, but it's great if you have little kids like I do who play on their video games and the computer all day, so I actually get to see them. So now that we go upstairs, it's a 2-bedroom, and they are two main bedrooms, so there's not a big difference in size. This is actually slightly larger bedroom, and it will have 2 queen-size beds and a bunk bed above. But you can see we've done, the ceilings are completely done. The paint, we did paint it gray with 3 coats of light gray paint. The stain on the beams, the wooden beams, are completely done. The door frames have been finished. Our closets are almost done. So this is a bathroom / closet. And so this is basically done except for the rods, and what we're finishing right now is the electrical started to go in on the ceilings. You can see we have mirrors. That'll be the final week. The mirrors actually have a light in it, so when you touch them, they turn on, which I thought was super cool. We'll see how functional they are, but I thought it was a nice wow factor, if you will. So little details like that I thought were really nice. But you can see those top tiny little LED lights, which will provide over light, or the ceiling lights. Will also do lamps for a little bit softer lighting. But you can see here that the lighting is done in the upstairs. This is the 2nd bedroom, obviously, which is slightly smaller than the other one, because we do have a walk-in closet with this bathroom. Both have the dual sinks, which I think is so very, very important if you have a rental or for resale. It just gives you a lot more flexibility. The showers are done, except we don't have the shower valves in. The electrical is starting to come together. We do have our sockets in. This is the walk-in closet, which will have a barn door. The barn doors are going to be one of the very, very last things that we do. But you can see that the upstairs is pretty much done, other than the rods in the bathroom, and then the toilets, and then the faucets, which are kind of the last thing that we are doing. And then as we go outside, the exterior has not been done. They have not finished this side, or we will have a wrap and screen so we don't have to worry about bugs, which is very nice. And you can tell we are in rainy season, and it's just kind of, well, they're working really hard right now, so there's stuff everywhere. Thank you for taking the T-minus 30 days and completion of our budget other than labor with me. And if you ever have any questions or comments, concerns, or heck, you're in Roatan and you want to see something about this house, there's probably a reason why we did what we did. This is our second full build, rebuild, or new construction in Roatan. This is the third time this house is being done. Now this house is about 3 feet wider than the other two versions of the house, and that's so it fit more American standards. And I don't mean like building standards, just Americans' viewpoints, because that tends to be North America is who most of my renters come from. So we did things like widening the stairs, widening the bathrooms, making bigger closets. So we added 3 feet to it. Otherwise, this is the third version of this house. We've changed a lot of things, and I already have a list for the fourth version of this house already in my head, and it's usually very, very small things. But if you have a question on why we did something the way that we did, there's probably a reason to it. So feel free to reach out, and I'd love to show you a home tour.